Shan and Tam fam, welcome to the Real Talk podcast. On this podcast, we talk about real issues. We talk about parenting, love, family, friendships, and everything in between.
It is our hope that you will journey with us through some critical conversations. We would like for you to drop us a comment, to share the conversation, and to let us know what you would like to see us talk about on Real Talk.
Shan and Tam fam, welcome back to another episode of Real Talk, the podcast with Shan and Tam. So today we wanted to tackle what we hope will be a fun subject, not only for the both of us, but for you listeners as well. And we hope that it actually does provoke some thought for you, as all the episodes should do. So today, Shan, I wanted to find out, I was listening to something the other day and I heard somebody talking about their rich life. And immediately I thought, oh, rich, okay, money, must be somebody with money. But when they actually went on to speak about their rich life, it really was not founded on monetary principle at all. And so I thought, oh, this would be interesting for us to discuss. And for me to actually hear from you, I started giving it some thought myself. To hear from you, what does your rich life look like? And not necessarily thinking about rich in terms of monetary
money.
Rich.
You know, when you said it to me this week, the word that came up to me immediately was freedom.
Boy.
Right? The freedom to live, the freedom to give back.
Yes.
And the freedom to have peace, right? Because I think, you know, and you said not looking at it even from a monetary standpoint, but
not to exclude money either.
Not to exclude money,
yeah, but
right?
that's not the basis of it.
Exactly. But I immediately thought of freedom, like what my rich life, it would be freedom, the freedom to be me, to travel.
Yes.
Right. And to help people. Right. That was the two most things that initially stuck out at me.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like me and you on that same train or plane. Preferably a plane.
Preferably a plane, my sister.
Preferably a plane to go somewhere. Because I started to think about it and I'm like, wow. And I didn't have to give it a whole lot of thought because guess what? This is what I desire for my life right now.
I want to dream every day. Listen to me. If me could have got on a plane every day. And you and I talk about this, but it's not to say I don't love to work. I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. But I think if I had the means, I would do so much outside of what we do in the 9 to 5. You know what I mean?
Right.
Uplifting women and pouring into women and pouring into the young people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like the youths that you and I talk about constantly, the young people, doing ministry. Like if I had the freedom, that's where I would pour all of my love and my energy in, because like Tam, we'll work full time and some of us have many jobs.
Right. Right.
As you know, at the end of the day, we're tired, right? And then or things that we love to do, sometimes we don't put as much of the energy in it. And it's not to say that we don't want to, but it's the time.
Yeah.
And I think being rich would afford me that time.
Yeah, absolutely. People ask me all the time, where you find so much time to do all of the things that you do? Like, you volunteer here, you go here, so you do that, you put out podcasts, you do whatever. Where you find the time? And I always tell people, like, the things that seem to be, that you might think to be taxing, yes, it takes a lot of energy, but I love to do those things. So stuff like this, like you said, volunteering, building programs for young people, for young girls, trying to put together programs or workshops and stuff like that. That is what my rich life would look like.
Real talk.
I consider myself to be quite ambitious. I've always been, but guess what? I'm very glad for now work 9 to 5.
Can I tell you? Just roll over and forward. But you're still doing things. You're still getting up. You're still doing things. It's not to say we get up and asleep and just not do nothing.
Yeah, no. And I tell people that too all the time, that I can be very busy without work. Like my life is very full without a 9 to 5.
I'm telling you. Telling you.
Yeah, and I can see myself just living on that side of my life, right? Money is important. Of course, my rich life would have some money in it to be able to afford me the ability to have the time to spend on these other things that I would love to do.
Yeah.
But I think one of the most important things for me would be giving myself time and space, like you said, to travel.
Yeah.
Just to do the things that I want to do, to see the places that I would love to see, to be with people that I would love to be with, just like at the drop of a hat. Like if I were to think about my parents, to know that me could I jump on a plane whenever me feel like figure
and go see them.
Yeah, my friends and my family who are not in my immediate surroundings, right?
Yes.
So that's one of the things. So traveling, spending more time with the people who you right now are so important to you, but you might not have the opportunity to spend that time and energy with them. That's one thing. Like you said, for me, I think there's so much more that I could do outside of a 9 to 5 to contribute to society.
And to build back into the young people, you know?
And to give back.
I just the other day, Tam, we were at church for the mental health day, and it was so powerful, right? And one of the young youth, right? She's in college and stuff. And I'm like, she's doing so well for herself. I must say, boy, if I had the time, I would really want to pour into this young woman. You know what I mean? Because if we could have talked back to our 18, 19-year-old self.
Boy.
Jesus. You know what I mean? And I thought about it, even when they were talking about the whole topic of mental health. And I was like, I really want to just, if I did have the time and the space, support into this young woman, right? For carry her out pan lunch.
Yeah.
And for checking pan her every week. And, that's what my rich life will look, a part of my rich life, because I wouldn't have to worry about certain things, then I could pour into. And I thought about that and reach out to her and stuff. And I was like, I have to be intentional this summer, trying to connect with this young person. But with all the other things we have to do, sometimes it's a lot.
Yeah, and it's not that the desire isn't there, the yearning isn't there for you to do the things that you want to do. It's just that the space sometimes in your life or the time, like you said, is not there. And we usually do find time for the things that are important to us. Let's agree on that.
Yes.
And so, if it really is something that's important to you, we will find time and space to do it.
It might not happen right away, but we will find the time.
Yeah, but I think maybe what I'm hearing from you, which is how I feel too, is that you would be able to spend more time and not necessarily be worried about that time that you have. So instead of thinking that, oh, you know what, may have to squeeze her in here, so maybe if you want hour and a half.
Exactly.
You could very well be content with and be okay to be able to give her half a day.
Give her half a day time. And don't worry about it. Take the day off work, get her half the day and don't worry about it, right?
Yeah. And I know that we're kind of passionate about women's issues and particularly the youth at this point in time as we have kids who are either in that stage or transitioning to that stage. Like I feel like our focus is really squarely set on that age group and really trying to empower and to develop them with positive thoughts. And the bottom line too is that, like you said, the if you could have spoken to your 18-year-old self, right? Or 19-year-old self, no, I don't think we had anybody who was having those kind of conversations with us, like real life conversations. You'll be here from your adults in your family. Not do this or not do that. Or
but and they did the best with what they could at the time,
did.
which we know, which we talk about to one or show one in the different things. They did the best they can at the time, right? But you're right, sis. If we had someone to really break it down for we, you know what I mean? And give it to us, I'm telling you, some decisions I would not have made.
Yeah, and I like you said, if everybody before us has done the best that they could with what they had.
With
and
the
I
tools
feel
they had
that,
at the time.
I feel that as we evolve and we become more aware, that we do differently. We do things differently. Like I was listening to Michelle Obama's book, and she was talking about the difference in terms of the parenting of her parents, like her grandparents, how her grandparents parented her mother. Where she was talking in this chapter about her mother.
Yeah.
And she was talking about the difference in terms of how her grandparents parented her mother, and then how her mother translated that or was very deliberate about changing some of the things that about how she wanted to parent Michelle and her brother. You know what I mean? And then the pieces that Michelle has picked up from her mother that have been positive, and how she took those pieces into now parenting her children. So life is really a journey. And I feel that as we continue to evolve over the generations, we have the opportunity to do things differently and to do them better. Like to do them better. Just leave it at
to
that.
be intentional and do them
You know
better.
what I mean? And I feel like one of the things that has happened to us like growing up in our generation, we've been kind of programmed to believe that you have to kind of follow the script. So you have to hit certain marks at certain times of your life and, certain age, and you worry about, and I think we had a conversation about this the other day, like when you're getting to 30 and you're maybe not married or
clock a tick, right?
Yeah.
And you feel unfulfilled because you're not at the level where you think you should be.
Yeah, there was nobody who said to us, it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay. Take your time. So if we have the opportunity to have these conversations with some of the young people, I think, it would make life, the pressures that they may feel that society places on them, it might alleviate some of those pressures or give them the confidence to be okay with what their choices are. You know what I mean?
Yes.
For their lives. So definitely, pouring into others is a big thing for me. Definitely traveling, definitely spending more time with my loved ones.
Yes.
And you know what? Maybe me them more stress-free. I'll have a little bit more patience to me pitney them.
No, real talk.
Real talk. That one
because your mind not preoccupied on so many different things to get so many things done, right? You'll be free, right, to do more. And you said the patience, to have some patience.
Yeah. And one of the things that I was listening to our very good friend and brother Roel the other day. He was on his live, and one of the topics he was addressing was what's in your dash, right?
So what's in your dash?
Yeah, what's in your dash. So
okay.
The idea is that when you're born, there's a date. And when you die, there's a date. And, he was saying, when you look at people's tombstone or whatever, there's a date. There's a start date. There's an end date. There is going to be one for everybody.
Wow,
and
that's
then
powerful.
In between the two dates, there's a dash.
So what's in your dash?
What happened in that dash? What type of life did you live? What did you do with your life? Did you do the things that you wanted to do? Did you really tap into that greatness within you? Did you pursue your dreams? Did you, do you have regrets? And I think sometimes we all do have regrets about decisions we may have made, but is your life defined by that?
That's so powerful. And you're saying that it's the same thing Miles Monroe had said, right? There, and I think Jeff Martin too spoke about it. The cemetery is one of the richest places, right? Because it has all the unfulfilled books and the podcasts and the different things that people said that they were going to do. They didn't get it done.
Yeah. And I mean, we don't want to be morbid, but it's the reality of life, right? And so I think our goal, like with this conversation, is to say, what does that rich life look like for you? Why aren't you living it now? Why can't you do some of the things? You might not be able to do everything because, frankly, a lot of things in life right now hinge around money. And that tight everywhere.
Everywhere, especially with inflation and everything now.
Listen, but in the meantime, are you able to accomplish or to do some of those things that really make you feel fulfilled? Really give you that peace, really give you that joy, really have you be able to express like a great deal of gratitude every day just for the sake of waking up.
Yes.
I mean, this podcast is work for us, right?
It has, it has its ups and its lows, and someday we're tired, right? Season of silence, but we
real talk.
Real talk.
But we enjoy doing it. And we enjoy the comments that we get from people who have said that it provokes thought in them, or it has, caused them to either think or do something, think about something or do something differently. And that is how we're able to give back right now, amongst the other things that we might be able to do, right? But this is something that we wanted to do, and we're doing it.
And we're pushing through with it.
We're pushing through with it, right? So really, that's about it. Like, we want you to think about your rich life. What can enrich your life?
Yes.
And how can you live that rich life now? What does that mean? What do you want to do?
Yes.
And what can you change about the circumstances right now that can lead you into that richness? There you go.
That's it for now, fam. Let us know what you want us to talk about. Let us know what your rich life would look like, or drop Tam and I a message to let us know your thoughts on this week's episode.
Fam, until then, check us out on all our social media pages, and take care, walk good, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, fam.
Don't forget to visit Shan and Tam on all their social media websites. At Sisters Shan and Tam on Instagram, Shan Tam Lodge -Lee on Facebook, and check out their blogs at shanandtam.blogspot.com. Tune in again next time on Real Talk.